Well, should it be illegal for a high school to include the 10 Commandments in a display about laws? Narrows High School in Virginia has done that and is being sued by the Freedom from Religion Foundation. Joining us to debate this live from New York is Matthew Staver. He is the founder and chairman of Liberty Counsel. And also with us via Skype is Dan Barker. He is the foundation co-president of the Freedom from Religion Foundation. Gentlemen, welcome to you both. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Dan, I want to start with you. Why did you decide to sue the school?
Well, the school had the 10 Commandments all by themselves for a while. Somebody complained. They took it down. They put it back. The community got mad. They took it down. They put it back. Then they dropped back to punt to try to do an end run around what is clearly an illegal practice. The Supreme Court has ruled that the 10 Commandments are undeniably a religious document. This is a no-brainer. The first commandment alone, I am the Lord thy God, thou shalt have no other God before me. It establishes a religion, establishes the nation of Israel. The 10 Commandments are not the basis for American law. They are not even very relevant. In fact, many of the 10 Commandments are anti-American. They contradict the First Amendment. This is an attempt by the religious right to try to sneak religion into the public schools when they know they can't do it by some other means.
Right,
the 10 Commandments might be appropriate.
Let's bring Matthew in to get the other side of this and to have you weigh in. I mean, is it ever appropriate for the 10 Commandments to be in school, whether it's as part of a lesson, or is it simply, as Dan says, an attempt to get religion back into public schools?
It's certainly appropriate. In fact, the Supreme Court upheld the 10 Commandments display in 2005 and has never said that it would be inappropriate to always display the 10 Commandments in any kind of circumstance. In fact, anyone who would say that the 10 Commandments had nothing to do with the development of American law and government is ignorant of American history and law and government. This particular display includes 10 equal-size frames. One frame is an explanatory plaque. It's the Foundations of American Law and Government display that talks about some of these documents that are displayed on this wall have had a profound influence on American law and government, including the Magna Carta, which is in 2 frames, the Declaration of Independence, and obviously other documents, including the 10 Commandments. In fact, that's why when you go to the United States Supreme Court, both in and outside the building, there are approximately 50 displays of the 10 Commandments in that building. It's the seal of the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals that actually contains the 10 Commandments, and you can see the 10 Commandments in courts of law all over this country for one simple and very profound reason, and that is Western civilization and American law and government have been profoundly influenced by the 10 Commandments.
All right, Dan, let me ask you, with all those things in mind, is this filing of this lawsuit, is it to bring awareness to the attention? Is it more to sort of what you'd call a protest vote, or do you think that this lawsuit has a good chance of succeeding on the merits?
This case has already been determined. The U.S. Supreme Court has determined in the Stone decision that the 10 Commandments do not belong in a public high school. And what the court has decided is that this is an attempt by religious people to try to influence children in the Judeo-Christian religion. The U.S. Supreme Court does not have the 10 Commandments anywhere. There are some visual representations, but there's no text anywhere. If the text were there, telling us that we must believe that we must have this one God and only worship on a certain day of the week, or what art we can make, which contradicts our First Amendment, then that would be found unconstitutional. The 2005 case was in a totally different setting, not involving school children. So there are millions of good Americans with children in the school who are not Christians or Jews, who disagree with the religious sentiments of the 10 Commandments. Let's talk about it in a history class. Let's talk about it in a legal class. But let's not display it on the walls of a classroom as if it were an important legal document or had anything more than a passing influence on the forming of our country.
Shannon,
we are almost out of time. So, Matthew, just very quick final word.
I would invite Dan to visit the U.S. Supreme Court. Parts of the Hebrew text are actually inscribed inside the court, and it has profoundly influenced American law and government. Anyone who denies that is a denier of history, and Dan may want to rip out a page of history, but the fact is it has influenced and has been upheld by the courts of this country.
Maybe we can all get together and take a field trip. It's a beautiful place. Gentlemen, thank you both for weighing in.